Hello everybody, welcome. It's Jason. It's December, it's cold. I need to put my coat on. It's the 11th of December today, and it's Thursday in Japan. Welcome to another video. Thank you for watching. I'm excited though because what number comes after 11? 12. And what number comes after 12? 13. And on 12/13, December 13th, we get the new Hobbit movie in Japan. I'm assuming that it's coming out fairly much, this Friday or Saturday, just about everywhere in the world. But I'm really looking forward to it. Love the Lord of the Rings movies. I have enjoyed these Hobbit movies so far and looking forward to this final one. So that's kind of my weekend plan. If you saw my video with me driving in the snow a bit last weekend, I went to see the movies last weekend as well. So, I do some driving to go see these movies. Let's see, things to talk about today. The main thrust and the title of this video will probably be to do with this. Not this weird picture up here, but dollar hits 7-year high above 119 yen to the dollar. And this is actually a paper from last week, and it's gone up just even a little bit more. I think it was like at 122 yesterday, and yesterday was payday for me, and I had to send money home to America. With Christmas and having gifts and giving money to my dad and paying off loans and stuff, I wanted to send a big chunk. And basically what it comes down to is this rise of the yen cost me about $200. To get, say, about $1,300, I had to send over 15 man, 150,000 yen, because of the exchange rate. So it does cost money going the other way. Now, if you're going to come visit Japan or something, it's great. But as you can see from that headline, 7-year high. It hasn't been this bad. The yen hasn't been this weak in a long time. So yeah, if you want to come visit Japan, and I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of it, now is the time, because your dollar now buys you like 122 yen. So an 8,000 yen hotel room for the night is like $65. When you do the conversion, as opposed to being $80, or if the pendulum were the other way, $100 for an 8,000 yen. I've had it both ways. So, the thing is though, it really doesn't, that whole conversion thing doesn't bother me so much, because I make my money in yen and I spend most of my money in Japan. And you really do have to get out of the habit of constantly converting what you're spending into your national currency of your home. That's a big part of my advice, and I've said it in other videos, for people that plan to live here in Japan for more than, say, a year. If you're only going to live here a year, you kind of always want to think, how much does that pizza cost? How much does that movie ticket cost? How much did that fill up my tank of gas cost? And you relate it to something that you know. And we do this all the time. But I've stopped doing it with the metric system for the most part. I used to do it a lot with that. I used to think, okay, how tall am I? I'm 6 foot, this or that, But now, if somebody says, oh, I'm 175 centimeters tall, that means something to me now. If someone says, the building we're going to is, 4 kilometers that way, that I understand that now. I understand my weight in kilograms. You start to just learn these things, and I don't convert temperature anymore. I used to be obsessive. I'd be like, oh, how cold is it outside? Is it 7? Okay, 7, and you double it, that's 14, and then you take away 1, that's 13, and you add 32, that's 15 plus 30 is 40. It's about 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And I had this whole thing that I did in my head. But now I just kind of know, 5 is pretty darn cold for me, 10 is sort of the borderline, 15 is nice, 20 is starting to get warm, 25 is hot, I know temperatures now. And you should do the same with money. how much does this thing that you want to buy or do with money cost versus other things in Japan? And that's really all that matters. Yes, a movie ticket is expensive here. It's 1,800 yen for the most part. But how much does that cost versus, this can of Pepsi Refresh or, your K-tie bill or going to see a concert or, how is that relative to other things that you could do for 2 hours and entertain yourself? Is a Big Mac the same cost as a Big Mac in America? I mean, who cares? That doesn't matter. How much does a Big Mac cost here in Japan? If the Big Mac meal cost me 650 yen, how much is that versus going out for curry or going out for, pasta or going out and buying ingredients and making your own dinner, So these are the things that you need to worry about, I think, if you're going to kind of be sane and live here for a while. But yeah, it is a bummer that the yen is doing what it's doing, and Abe, Prime Minister Abe, Sori Daijin Abe-san, is letting it letting it go, man. And so luckily I'm not flying to America or going to America having to buy like anything big like a ticket to America or anything, because it's really going to hurt for some of those people that are going home this winter. All right, what else did I want to talk about? We had some Australian students come to the school today. Crikey, they're from Australia. That's my bad Monty Python Australian accent. Hello, bros. Hello, bros. If you've ever seen the Python where they talk about the philosophers. Hey, Immanuel Kant was a... Anyway. I'm such a nerd. They came to school today, so I got to hang out with them a little bit. And one of the... I have boys, but he's a man. I'm sure he's 20 or 21 or something. He came up to me and he's like, oh, and I have a name tag that I won't show because it has all my school stuff on it. But, it says Jason on it and everything. And he said, oh, are you Jason? And I'm like, wow. I thought it was kind of, hidden in my coat a little bit. I had my coat on, my suit coat. And hence the tie today, because, we're meeting people from other places. And so he's like, are you Jason? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I've seen some of your videos on YouTube. And I was like, oh, okay, well, cool, man, thanks. And he's like, yeah, it's, I Googled about Shimane, and other places that we're going to visit, and Hiroshima, and blah, blah, blah. And you came up, and I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, of course, So anyway, that was fun. And so now he knows the location of the secret bat cave, as it were, where I am, and hopefully he will take that information to the death. What else do I need to tell you? The Zen Zen Wakata Nai shirt. Some people asked me about that, and so I said, okay, well, I'll put it back up for a little while. Now, I know you guys are kind of getting sick of me talking about t-shirts, and I promise I won't talk about this stuff anymore for a while, but anyway, some people did want it, and I figured, hey, it's a Christmas gift maybe or something, so I put it back up, and I actually wanted to order one, because the time before was my very first time with Teespring, and I didn't know about all the different sizes and colors, so I put up the Zen Zen Wakata Nai t-shirt back up for sale for 1 week, so that you could maybe get it in time for Christmas with shipping if you ordered it in the States or something, not if you ordered it in Japan. And I wanted to order one for me, to get a 4XL for me, to kind of replace the old one that I bought way back in 2004, which is getting a little snug now for me. And so far, I'm the only person that's ordered one. So a few people on Facebook are like, yeah, I'm going to order one. And one guy was even like, yeah, I'm going to order two, man. One for me and one for a friend or something. And so far, I'm the only person that's ordered one. And I made the limit 15. So, I don't know. But it's up there till Monday. Today's Thursday. If you want a t-shirt, there's different color choices. There's a long sleeve one, Fruit of the Loom if you're like me and you need a big size. And in addition to all that, if you're interested in t-shirts in general, I'm going to put the link down in the box. Go to Victor's store. Okay, Give Me a Break Man Victor and I are friends here in Japan, and he bought the Zen Zen Wakata Nai t-shirt, and a lot of people, he wore it in a few of his videos. So it was awesome. Thank you, Victor. Now, this was, of course, after I'd sold it. But a lot of people asked him, where can I get one? So he wanted to make his own. And I don't own that. I mean, it's not my, I freely admitted that that wasn't even my idea. I bought that shirt from an online place back in 2004. I just never seen it for sale again. I'd never ever met anyone else that had one. So it was kind of unique to me. But again, I don't own that idea. I don't own that phrase. It's just a piece of Japanese that I wrote on a t-shirt. So he did his own version, you know, full respect to me. And it says Zen Zen wakarimasen, which is, you know, the same thing, but just, you know, wakarimasen instead of wakaranai. And he put a little emoticon on his to make it even look a little bit more different than mine. You know, like the emoticon that Japanese people look for when they want to say, oh, I'm confused, you know, what do you mean? You know, what you talking about, Willis? That just dated me, whoa, TV reference. So go to his shop. It's spreadshirt.givemeabreak.com or something. I'll put it down in the, you've got mail. The SoftBank, man, I hate that thing. Go to that store, you know, tons of other t-shirts. Hiko's Tokyo Tonight shirts, which I'm going to order one of those. Moron Army shirt stuff from Victor's, you know, he's the king of the morons type of stuff. Even Paul's Big Nuts, Mully shirt. So a bunch of J-vloggers are represented in that store. And it looks like that's going to just be an ongoing thing. You can order from it anytime. There's no limits or Teespring campaign stuff. It's just straight up, you know, you want something, go there and buy it. So that's a good option for the Zen Zen shirt in the future. But this is kind of your last chance if you want the Jason design and you just didn't get in on it the first time I offered it. So there you go. Promise I'll talk less about all that stuff in 2015, guys, because I know you've been very helpful and you know, very kind to, so excuse me, help me out. I will give one more shout out to Farty Sheep, who I talked about in the video. So just go into the iTunes or Android store and type in Farty Sheep. And like I said, the $2 that you spend on the app goes to my friend Ben and his company in Wales that's helping children and you know, learn about technology. So worthwhile thing to spend $2 on this holiday season. Okay, gosh, I thought there was one other something I was supposed to tell you about. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I need to write this down sometimes. Oh, I was going to tell you about a student. Oh, about, let's see, it's 12 minutes. Okay, really quick. So I'm teaching my Beatles class. And this is the box set that they came out with recently. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, or else I'll talk about that forever. And so today I had to teach about Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, perhaps one of the most famous albums of all time. And at some point I'm like standing there going like, how much do I want to teach them about drug culture? Because, you know, you've got to teach a little bit about Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, LSD. You've got to teach a little bit about Day in the Life, you know, I'd Love to Turn You On. Why did that get them in trouble with the BBC? Okay, what does that mean? You know, of course some of the songs influenced by drugs, you just can't, you know, you can't deny it, you know. I mean, and the Beatles themselves don't really deny it either. Although John asserts that Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is not code for LSD, it was simply a drawing that his son Julian brought home and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, another video for that whole discussion. So I'm talking about how there's some people who even think that the song, a fairly innocuous song on the album called Fixing a Hole, I'm fixing a hole where the rain comes in, that song is about drugs. So I'm like, okay guys, there's this drug called heroin. And if you take heroin, you don't swallow it or smoke it, you inject it. So this is called fixing. And if you put a needle in your arm, what do you get? You're left with a hole, right? So you're fixing a hole and blah, blah. And I'm just like, if some other person walked in right now, they think, what are you teaching these children? So I'm trying to, like, you know, teach them about this. And it just struck me funny. All right, I want to finish in 15 minutes just in case it blocks me or something. So thank you for watching. My God, why is this video so long? Why? And I hope to have more for you in December. Peace. See you soon. Go see The Hobbit. I'm going to see it too. Bye.